Hello, everyone. On 18th of April 2022, we have great, beautiful celestial event. Jupiter enters his own sign, Pisces. This is wonderful. He enters on 18th of April this year to stay there until 26th of April 2023. So a little bit longer than 1 year. Jupiter will stay in Pisces. I followed his transit in Pisces. Even in his retrograde motion, he's not leaving Pisces during his 1 year stay. He has one very short period of invisibility, but this is towards the end of his period, and this was on 30th of March 2023 until 13th of May 2023. So to me, to tell you the periods of retrograde motion, especially of such beautiful benevolent planets like Jupiter, are really not drama, not bad. It is really sad when he, well, maybe this is also not the right word, not sad, but we are missing Jupiter when he turns invisible. So I was watching carefully to see when will be he invisible. And this is happening only towards the end of his cycle, 30th of March to 13th of May of 2023 already. So you see, this is absolutely beautiful. And I will tell you why. First, just very briefly to remind you who is Jupiter, because to know about his energy, we need to see who is ruling him. We know that this is the beautiful, benevolent, large planet, which classically everyone says how it is about expansion, abundance, enlargement. Yes, but he is the divinity which rules Jupiter is god Marduk. This was the divinity of ancient Babylon. If you like to follow more modern tradition, you can look at Zeus of the ancient Greeks. But in the ancient Babylon, Jupiter was again very benevolent. He was son of god Enki. With this, because Enki was magician, we know that Jupiter has magical benevolent properties as well. He was called the Sazu, meaning the heart of wisdom, the king of the godly Igigis, the Anunnakis. He was the great god of Babylon. He was the one who defeated Tiamat, the goddess, which has her dragon on the sky, the Hydra dragon. In the mythological story, if you know, I often say this, he defeated Tiamat in order to save the humans, and he is her grandson. So actually, he also is associated with the star Regulus, the most gorgeous star, which is in the heart of the lion. He has only beautiful properties, Jupiter, god Marduk. So he rules Pisces, he rules Sagittarius, and now, lucky for us, he's entering his own sign Pisces. Why is he so special, especially now? I will tell you. First of all, we've been missing him because you remember, I will give you a significant event. We had on the 21st of December of 2020, we had the conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. Everyone spoke about this because when they conjoined, they looked as if they're one star, and we know this was very ominous for sure. So he was in Capricorn. In Capricorn, he was very weak. Yes, he did his very ominous role, his essence into this conjunction, and partially due to this, maybe to a very large degree, we are witnessing now this great awakening among people. So he stayed roughly 1 year in Capricorn. Then in 2021, he stayed in Aquarius. In Aquarius, he's also not with his full, he can also not manifest for us his full blessing and potentials. So obviously, we've been missing him because the world is going through these major changes due to the entrance, to a very large degree, of course, not solely, but to a very large degree, due to the entrance of Saturn into Capricorn, which happened end of January 2020. One of the reasons why this change felt for us so drastic, strong, severe is because we couldn't feel the brilliant, abundant blessing of Jupiter because he was weak. So you can see what is happening. So we know that Saturn remains in Capricorn to continue for us, for the world, his changes. He will stay in Capricorn until end of January 2023. But the great difference now for us is that now Jupiter from Pisces will create harmonious sextile. And all this, and this aspect, this transit of Saturn in Capricorn, even though it will still continue to bring changes to the world, to the people, it will be blessed with the softening energy of Jupiter. So we're having great help here, you know, with Jupiter entering Pisces. This is really brilliant. Even another help we will have, because on the 29th of April to 25th of May, 1 month, yes, but still Venus enters Pisces, you see. So this is very good news, ladies and gentlemen, really very good news, because you see, imagine, we were kind of left only to the very well, severe, judgmental, a little bit cold hand of Saturn. Even if the changes that he brings are important for us, and you can see that none of us is the same. Like if you go and see how you were thinking, or your perceptions, or your knowledge 2 years ago, you will see that now you are much wiser. We know more. So obviously the transit of Saturn was brought to us a lot, essence, knowledge, wisdom, but not in this very sweet way, which would have happened if Jupiter and Venus would give friendly aspect from somewhere on the sky. And they especially Jupiter, Venus helped shortly, but not really. But we've been missing Jupiter, and now all this is changing. You will see. Indeed, we have many other details happening, many other things changed as well, because during the last 2 years, we had most of the eclipses taking place on the axis of Scorpio Taurus, which triggered additional changes, mainly related to finances, to the world financial system. So we cannot look solely at the entrance of Jupiter in, you see the factors on the sky are many, but I count on this much softer energy, and the process of change will continue, but not in such severe way. I also expect that, talking about war and hostilities in the world, that this will be very helpful, in this sense that this doesn't turn into a world war. And I made previous video on the world war, whether we will be, unfortunately, witnessing or not a world war. My opinion is that not. With the entrance of Jupiter in Pisces, things will also start looking more positive. But I will do a separate video only about Ukraine and this thing which is ruling it, and you will, maybe we can see together how things look like. So thank you. I hope this news, good news, made you smile, because I really feel it is something very good happening. And see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. I would like to look at the two eclipses, lunar and solar, which are taking place now on the 30th of April and 15th, 16th of May. Two eclipses, you know that on the 23rd of March, the two lunar nodes, South Node, North Node, Rahu, Ketu, the tail of the dragon, the head of the dragon, changed their positions, moving retrograde. They entered sidereal Aries. So Rahu in sidereal is in sidereal Aries, Ketu is in sidereal Libra, and they will be staying there, moving retrograde 18 months. With this, of course, the nature of the eclipses has changed as well. And the eclipses of this in the next year will take place also in Aries Libra. Now, needless to say that this totally changes the picture of the mundane world situation. Because you know that in the 2020, most of the eclipses, because we had too many, 6 out of maximum 7 eclipses per year, you can imagine we had 6. So half of them happened on the axis of Taurus, Scorpio, and in the year of 2021, 4 eclipses took place on the axis of Scorpio, Taurus. So you can see with this clearly, in a very powerful way, the changes which these eclipses brought were mainly related to finances, food, shortage or abundance. It is mainly food. And because Taurus, Scorpio, and financial situation, the finances of the world. The new eclipses and the new entrance of the lunar nodes, of course, in their different signs, like I told you, they show totally different events for the world, different aims, just different focus, and it is on hostilities. But I told you about this in my separate video only about the lunar nodes. Of course, Aries, Libra, all about aggression, justice or lack of justice. So I will share my screen with you to show you how these two, you see, they go in couples. I cannot look only at the one happening now on the 30th of April, because we need to look at the second one as well, which is taking place on the 15th, 16th of May, because they go together as a couple. So I will share my screen with you to tell you my reasoning about these two eclipses and in what way I think that they will influence us. So let me share my screen. All right. This is the first eclipse, you see. It is on the 28th lunar day, happening in the 16 degrees of Aries, 16 degrees of Aries. We have two things happening there. One is, this is in the vicinity of the star Hamal. This is one of the horns of Aries, of the celestial ram. Horns are always, you can imagine with what you connect the horns of the animal: aggression, defense. Well, here I don't include the sexual meaning of the horns, but it is about aggression, defense. Also, what we have is the, in this particular degree, you have projection of Andromeda on the sky. Andromeda, in the Greek mythological story, what we know is that the Andromeda was a victim of betrayal. She was a daughter of Cepheus, and one second, what was the name of her mother? And Cassiopeia, indeed. They were king and a queen, and the mother, Cassiopeia, said that her daughter is the most beautiful, and she's even more beautiful than Nereida. And because of that, the father, Poseidonus, sent the Cetus on the sky to destroy Andromeda and to just to destroy her. So she was then tied on a rock and you see her on the sky tied on a rock. So we're talking about victim and betrayal. But in the end, Perseus came on his horse Pegasus, and he destroyed the Scythes and he freed Andromeda. So you can see, we can really, thinking about this story, you see that this is degree which is activated with the eclipse, and even later on the second eclipse. Look, this is the second eclipse on the 16th of May. The eclipse is happening just between Libra and Scorpio, and Taurus and Aries. This is already the lunar eclipse. The first one is solar, and you can see the moon is conjoined. Actually, the sun is conjoined Algol, the star, which is also about victim because, you know, the Medusa Gorgon, Athena Pallas saw her that she's making love with Neptune in one of her temples, and she cursed her and she turned her into a girl with skin, with hairs which look like with snakes, and then the very same Perseus actually destroyed the Medusa Gorgon. So we're talking about victims and betrayals. And you see, the good thing is actually that I was checking the very degree, you know, of Algol, and I was checking the phase of the star, and the star, it was not in a bad phase. The star Algol on the sky is in good phase, which means that this may not really turn into something very extreme, but we will see maybe betrayals of leaders. We will see on the mundane level that this will be this will have impact on the hostilities, on the war-like situation, because I checked even the horoscope, and I want to make a separate video about this, the horoscope of Ukraine, and this, and Libra Aries is where their mid-heaven lower meridian are. So it would have a not very good impact on the people of Ukraine. I don't talk about leaders because none of them I can sympathize. I really feel sorry for the people who are victims of all this. So you can see this is where it happens, and certainly if we compare with eclipses in the 2020, 2021, this is about hostility, and this can enhance this can temporarily worsen the situation, because look that not even one benevolent planet is watching towards the eclipse. Jupiter and Venus are in Pisces, but they don't form an aspect. Then here with the second eclipse, Jupiter and Venus are also not forming aspect. Well, yes, sextile. So you see, I don't think that this will worsen that much the situation of the war, but we will see ugly events as a result. The thing is that, like I told you previously, I'll bring you back several times because it is very important, and I keep thinking about this. You know, if you remember, in November of 2019, the first heliacal appearance of Mars was in Libra. This marked his cycle of the next 15 months with disease. And then the next cycle that he started was December 2021, when he appeared for the first time in Scorpio. And in Scorpio, Mars is very strong, and he brought hostilities, warlike situation. So, and this cycle count from December of 2021 is finishing in 15 months. So we cannot expect any complete peaceful, complete peace for the world before the beginning of 2023. But the eclipses will just give color to the situation. We see betrayal, we will see worsening ugly events, manipulations, fake orchestrated events to make people be scared and to make people side with this or the other side of the war. This is what will be happening. Also because, look, the moon is in the vicinity of this also malefic last degrees very last degree of Libra, the beginning of Scorpio, first degree of Scorpio. But all that is happening, these are degrees of knowledge, should bring awakening. But still, these are heavy degrees which will bring, well, temporary worsening of the situation, worsening of the financial situation one more time, because this is Taurus, worsening of the inflation. And how long is this, which countries will be influenced? I will tell you, mainly, 1 second.